Well, hello everyone. How are you? How are you? How are you? I hope you are having a wonderful weekend. Today is Saturday, August 24th. Today is the start of football season. Yay! My Tar Heels don't play until next Saturday. We play the lowly Gamecocks in Charlotte at Belk Bowl or Belk something or another or whatever. My son, who somehow I failed him, and he is a Gamecock fan, so he's been talking trash. So it's really gonna get ugly this week, leading up into the game. But it's college football, so I had to rep my heels. I got my heels on, even though the U in Florida play tonight. But who cares about them? But today is Saturday again, August 24th. I am Natalie, aka the Naughty Hooker. I am in Charleston, South Carolina. Actually, North Charleston, but that's neither here nor there. It's close to Charleston. And I just wanted to pop on real quick and show you some things I've been working on. I don't know if you know, a lot of you know, don't know, whatever. If you're new to my channel, this is new to you. If you've been on my channel before, you know that I'm an indie dyer. But when I say indie dyer, I'm not a big producer of indie yarn. When I first got into it, I'm like, oh, I opened up an Etsy store. I'm going to sell my yarn or whatever. But the problem with that is, I get these ideas in my head of what I want the yarn to be. I don't want to take the time to stop and write down these formulas. I hear people that are really indie dyers that sell their yarn in bulk, and they're talking about the 1% dye rate versus the, well, no, that's just way too technical for me. I just want to create, and that's have that be. So I closed my Etsy store because most of the things I had in there were just one-of-a-kind yarns that I had gotten inspiration that day or whatever, and decided this is what I want to dye. But there's no way I'm going to be able to repeat that colorway. So it didn't make sense to keep my Etsy store open, knowing good and well if somebody came and said, hey, I love that yarn, I need a sweater quantity. Child, I ain't gonna be able to do you no sweater quantity because I don't know what I did to begin with. So close the store. So now I just dye for me, or if I have custom requests where people come and say, okay, I want this specific color, I want 4 skeins. Hey, I can do that, and 9 times out of 10 you get those. Usually I'll dye a couple of more skeins just in case they need it as backup, because I know I'm not going to be able to replicate that color. And yes, I know I should be writing this stuff down, but who has time for all that? So that being said, I had a friend of mine, remember TJ, the one that got me the Come and Go shirt? He contacted me. He had just made him this beautiful sweater, and I put pictures of the sweater he made originally on. It's a hooded like sweatshirt with pockets and everything, and it's beautiful. And for some reason TJ has a thing about spiders, so one sleeve has a spider on it. I don't know why, but anyway. So he did that, and he was like, Natalie, I want some more yarn. And TJ is a huge Gigi Made It fan. Now, if you on Instagram or where YouTube or whatever, Gigi has a YouTube channel, and she's on Instagram, and she's all over the place. But her signature color is a deep orange. That's her color, and what have you, right? So when he said it, he was like, well, no, don't worry, it don't have to be this or whatever. But I'd already had in my head what colorway I wanted. So I got online and I was like, okay, let me see if I can find an inspiration picture to pull from. And I found one, and I attempted that one, but it was 4 colors. And it came out way better than I thought it was going to be. So I did four skeins. So this is what I got with the 4 inspiration colors that I was using, and I'll put a picture up so you can see where I got my inspiration from and the colors from. So it came out, and it's in the pot, and I'm like, that's not what I had in mind for TJ, and I wasn't really feeling it, even though, okay, until I wound it up and started working with it. OMG, look at this, y'all. This is going to be a Wurm hat, but it is working up so much better than it looks in a hank. That's why you shouldn't give up on, you see a hank, it's like, yeah. So this is going to be a hat. This is the brim. But look at this. This is this. Yeah. But it still was not the color that I wanted for TJ. But even, once I wound it up into a cake and started working with it, I'm like, okay, love it. So that I'm going to use the one I've already caked up. The other three, more than likely, I'm going to sell. I say that now, but I'm going to put it on sale. If it doesn't sell, then yeah, I'll find a shawl or something to do with it. But TJ's favorite color is blue. But like I said, he is a fan of Gigi Made It, with her orange, her deep orange. So I combined the two. Look at that, y'all. This is what it looks like caked up. So what I envision for him is, once you see the picture of the sweater, you'll know more about what I mean. But to use the variegated for the body of the sweater, and then use the solid for the sleeves and the pockets. I cannot wait. And TJ's a knitter. He loves, and he's a traveling nurse, so that keeps him busy or whatever when he's on his assignments and I really should stop swinging this around. But anyway, he will knit something up and decide that he doesn't want it. So he'll put it on his Facebook page, and whoever comments, he puts all those names in a hat and he pulls, and somebody gets a freshly knitted garment. Freshly knitted, a knitted garment, let's just say that. So this will be a sweater for someone. I actually wound up both the solid and this, so when he gets it, he can just get to going. We're going to try to do an unboxing of it on Instagram Live, but before I put it in the mail, which I have got to get it in the mail today, I wanted to do a YouTube video and show you all that. Now, I'll probably do a two-part to this, maybe a week from now, but I needed to get this captured, and I needed y'all to see this beauty before it went in the mail to him. And I might have to dye me up some as well, but I just love the contrast of it. And even this one, where it got a little mix and got some brown and stuff, I still like the way that looks, and I still think it's going to knit up. And this is not really doing it. It's a deeper orange than this color is showing on camera. So that was why I just wanted to pop on real quick, show you all that. Getting back to my hat that I just absolutely love the colorway. I thought at first to do a hitchhiker shawl, but I'm like, I'm not going to wear that. I'm just not going to wear it. And I need another Wurm hat, because if you see back here on Delilah, I had a Wurm hat, and it was nice and slouchy, and I had dipped down in my hand-dyed yarn. I had done it a couple of years ago. I love that hat because it just sat just right. Well, for some reason, even though I tell my people that I sell my yarn to, don't machine wash it, don't put it in the dryer, I decided to do a test and see if it could be machine washed and dried, because it's a superwash yarn. Well, it felt it. So instead of having a slouchy beanie, I now have a fitted hat. And it's a little slouchy, but it's nowhere near as slouchy as it was. So that one will replace my long lost slouchy beanie hat. And it doesn't look too bad. You can see where it felt in. And thankfully it was a lot bigger so that I can still wear it. But my beloved slouchy beanie hat is no longer slouchy. I wore this one time. Me and a friend of mine went to the Raleigh Fiber Fest last year before last, and I wore this hat, and it's amazing. I'm walking around the Fiber Fair, and I had got so many compliments, and people knew the pattern right away. Oh, you have a Wurm hat? That is beautiful, da da da. And it kind of freaked Terry out, because she was like, huh? But yeah, so that is going to be another Wurm hat, and I will not machine wash it. It will be hand dyed. Yeah. So you all have fun for the rest of your day. I'm getting ready to brave Walmart just for an envelope so I can mail this yarn. Y'all know I really don't want to do this, but yeah, I got to get this yarn in the mail today to TJ, so hopefully he'll have it by Tuesday. So you all enjoy the rest of your day. For those of you that are like me and looking forward to 7 o'clock tonight in college football, go whatever team you support. I'm going to say go Heels, whatever team you support. Let's have some fun. I'm ready for it. Take care, and I will see y'all later. Bye. Well, hello everyone, how are you? How are you? How are you? Today is Tuesday, September 17th. I am Natalie Jett, aka the Knotty Hooker. I am a crocheter of 30 years. I say 30, it's been more, but I like saying 30. I've taught myself how to Portuguese knit about 3 years ago. I'm an indie dyer, and if you saw part one of this video, that you know indie dyer is a very loose term for me, but anyway, I do enjoy dyeing yarn. And I live in Charleston, South Carolina. So I think that's it. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you are returning, thank you for coming back. Thank you for subscribing and hitting the little bell so that you know when I'm posting a new video. Let's see, part one was showing you all some yarn and what have you, and I showed you the start of my Wurm hat. I'm not finished with it yet because I had to put it down and do a couple of other projects, but I wanted to show you the progress that I have made. I've gotten quite a bit done. So I do a folded brim, which is what the pattern calls for, and you're supposed to pick up the stitches and knit them together. I don't know how to do all that, so I just sew it down once it gets on my nerves. So this is my progress on my Wurm hat, and I had to put it down and do some other things. I don't know when I'm going to get it done, but thankfully I had it that much done. Let's see, what else did I do? Oh, okay. So in part one of the video, I showed you the yarn for TJ's, the yarn I sent to TJ for his sweater, and I showed you the Oops yarn. And if you, I'm getting ready to show you, I had another client that loved the Oops yarn so much, but she lives in Washington State, so she needed something a little thicker. So I dyed it up in a worsted weight yarn for her and made her a, the pattern is called Randy's Stocking Cap. She told me what she wanted, the type of hat she wanted, so I went looking on Ravelry and found this pattern. The actual pattern is so long that it would actually touch her behind or go past her behind if I'd made it per the pattern. But the instructions give you a way to decrease it so it's not as long. So I did that. So here is the Randy Stocking Cap. I dyed some worsted weight yarn and I made her stocking cap. And instead of a pom-pom, I did an I-cord. And I really I didn't want to just leave it off at the thing and have nothing there. That, to me, that was just tacky. And I'm filler on the pom-pom because I'm not a pom-pom girl either. So I put an I-cord border on it. I dyed the yarn, and she wanted turquoise as her accent color. So that is her stocking cap. And I'm doing this video today because I've got to get this in the mail to her. She's waiting on it. Although I don't think it's, well, it might be cold where she is now. She's over in Seattle, Washington. And let's see what else. Oh, and okay. The first part of the video I shot on August 24th. Got busy, got doing other things or whatever. I casted on this flying solo hat in 1x1 rib hat. It's a cowl with the little dicky on it with the 1x1 rib. And thankfully I casted this on, had it, pretty good distance or what have you, and then got the phone call that my grandmother passed. Now, Grandma was 102 years old, so Grandma was on borrowed time as far as I'm concerned. So I really, was sad, of course, that she's no longer here, that I can't, call and get advice or what have you. But at the same time, at 101, she deserved to be able to, rest in peace or what have you. But that meant we got together as a family. So over the Labor Day weekend, we went to Hickory, and I don't know if I told y'all, but back in April at her birthday celebration, my uncle comes up to me and he's like, I want a hat by September. Okay, I'll get you, now this was in April. And so, okay, I'll get you a hat by September. And of course, you know me, I'm doing other projects, I'm doing everything because I had till September to get this hat. And then Grandma passes, I think she passed on the 30th. And I'm like, no, she passed, I made the video on the 24th. I want to say she passed that Monday. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to get this hat done by this weekend for the funeral or what have you. And of course, that was the first thing my uncle said to me when he saw me. No, hello, niece. No, I love you. Tomorrow's September. So I'm like, okay, yeah. So I cast it up now, but okay. She passed, we buried her Labor Day weekend, right? Well, That was the Friday and Saturday before Dorian decided to meander up the coast, right? So I got a text that Saturday, Sunday night, because my plan was to leave Labor Day Monday and head back to Charleston. I get a text saying that it'll shut down I-26 and have all lanes coming out Monday at 12 o'clock or noon. So I'm like, okay, I can't get back to Charleston. And I mean, I could have taken the back roads and added 2 hours to my trip, but I didn't want to go home or come to Charleston and then Dorian decided to make landfall, and then I had to hurry up and get out of Charleston. So I ended up staying with my aunt. So I had the two projects I had with me was the flying solo cowl and my Wurm hat. Well, I love my aunt to death. I really do. She is the sweetest woman in the world. She gave up her bed for me for a whole week because I ended up not leaving until Friday morning. But because she's an older and because she's on a fixed budget, that meant no internet, no cable, which was fine because I had my phone with an unlimited plan, so I was still able to watch my Braves or whatever, but she also had no AC. That was a problem. So, but luckily there was a yarn store, I mean, literally within walking distance. I could have walked if I wanted to, but we both know that won't gonna happen. So, drove to the yarn store, and the name of the store is called Wildskeins, and it's a wonderful store. It's in a house that the bottom parts, you know, she has different rooms for yarn, and then she actually has a working kitchen with a stove and all that stuff. So the dyer in me was like, oh my. And upstairs she has where she has a weaving classes, and she had a loom, you know, a big loom set up upstairs. So let's see, they were closed Monday. Tuesday was knit night. So I went and spent all day Tuesday basically in the AC and the Wi-Fi, and then I stayed for knit night Tuesday, and then I went back Wednesday and Thursday. Thursday night was spinners. So technically I spent most of my vacation at Wildskeins, and I think by Thursday she could tell that I was going stir crazy. So she was Kamantha is the owner's name. Kamantha, I forgot how to pronounce her last name, but she's a wonderful woman. We had the best time. And so she had a local indie dyer that moved. And she said people come in from out of town and they want some local dyed yarn. And she didn't have any, but she had gotten with a Greener Shades rep. So she wanted to learn how to dye yarn. So Friday, since the store was kind of quiet, we went and we dyed some yarn. Or I showed her, you know, some of my techniques or what have you. So that was fun. So that kind of perked me up. But come Friday morning, I was ready to go. I love her. It was, I mean, but yeah. So, but I want to say I finished this in Hickory. If I didn't, I finished it right after I got back. But this is the flying solo cowl, and I've done this before, but the one before I modified, and I didn't because I didn't like my 1x1 ribbing. And so it was a little bit slouchy or whatever. This here is not slouchy at all. Wait a minute, turn it. This is quite snug, and again it's a dicky, so you get your coverage for your for your back and your, you know, so it sits nice within a coat, and you got plenty of coverage. So if you're out in a blizzard, you are good with this cowl. And I held two skeins of yarn together, so this thing is nice and thick, and there's no way I'm going to wear this. Look at my hair, looking all pitiful. Look like somebody scared me. Here in Charleston. So more than likely this is going to go up on my Facebook page for sale, because there's no way I'm going to get any use out of this cowl here in Charleston. I have a few ends I need to weave in that I forgot about, because of course they're tucked inside the cowl, so I got to take care of that. So I did majority of that in Hickory, and I want to say I finished it, but I can't remember. But either way, it's done. So got back to Charleston. The house, thankfully, we lost a few shingles or whatever, but that was it. No major damage or anything. A lot of, we had several people that had trees down, several people that went without a power for, a couple of days or whatever. Thankfully, we didn't have that problem. So I was able to just jump back in or what have you. So, let's see, I showed you my flying solo cowl, I showed you my progress on my Wurm hat, I showed you the progress on my uncle's hat. Oh, before I left, I was trying to use up the knitting guild that I belong to. We donate to several charities, and one of the charities is the local animal shelter, the SPCA, and they need mats for the cages. So I took some of my acrylic yarn, I held two strands together, and so these mats are nice and thick and heavy, and I did single crochet, so they're gonna withhold some washing and some what have you. So I did one 16 by 16, and then another one 20 by 20. So that got, and like again, I held two strands together, so that used up quite a bit of acrylic yarn that I had in my stash. That, you know, this right here, I don't know why I even held on to it, because it's not enough to do anything with and stuff. So I had little pieces and what have you. So that got rid of some stuff and put it in a couple of crates and bats or whatever, and we're good to go. So I'm trying to think if this is it. I think that's all I've done. I'm working on the hat. My next project is another flying solo cowl, but she doesn't want the ribbing. She wants it loose like the one I did before. So she wants it all in stockinette. And I'm probably going to have to do the chest, a little bit of the chest in seed stitch, just so it doesn't curl on her. And then the rest of it is stockinette. So I've got to kind of play with it to make sure it's wide enough to where, she can get it on her head without, because stockinette's going to stretch a little bit, but not like that ribbing stretches. So that's my next project after I get this hat done by the end of September, because I've got to get it to him before September or I will never hear the end of it, especially considering he told me back in April. So I just wanted to pop on real quick and show you all what I've been doing, what I had on my needles, what's off my needles, and I'm getting ready to run to the store so that I can get that stocking cap in the mail to my client and get her taken care of and come back and do some more knitting. So you all enjoy the rest of your day, enjoy the rest of your week, and I will see you in a couple weeks.